Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing part 2 of answering those America's Next Top Model questions that you guys asked on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, my handle is India Gants, just like it is everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, so make sure to follow me on all those platforms. Thank you all for joining and being a part of my little family here. Just like last time, I already have the questions screenshotted on my phone directly from your comments on my Instagram post, so I'm going to be reading those and responding to them. And of course, if you haven't seen part 1, make sure to go back and watch that. I'll leave it linked here. But if you have, welcome to part 2, and let's get right into it. All right, first question is from Amanda Airdo. And she says, when they choose best photo for each girl, do you think they sometimes actually didn't choose the best photo on purpose? Now, okay, this could go 2 ways. If you're asking about like each individual model and them not picking our best shot of the bunch, I've thought about that so much. Like sometimes I felt like I absolutely killed a photo shoot. I tried so many things, like falling back onto my hands, throwing them up, kicking, jumping, like doing so many crazy things, and they would choose like the most simple shot. And I do think that there is some intent behind the producer's choices. For example, I always talk about that first photo that I ever took on America's Next Top Model, and like I look so old, the lighting's horrible, I don't look like I have any clue what I'm doing, and I truly believe that they picked that shot so that it would show improvement. But yeah, sometimes I wonder if they chose like a really bad shot of, let's say, Binta, and they chose an amazing shot of me, even though we both had good shots in our set of photos from the photo shoot. So I really don't know. I would hope that they genuinely chose our best photo each photo shoot, but I guess there's really no way to know. As far as choosing the best photo in panel, I think that definitely has to do with like patterns and routines. They don't want to have one girl win too many best photos in a row. Do you know what I'm saying? So even though, let's say my photo might have been better than Tatiana's one week, they would announce Tatiana as best photo just to like mix it up. I do think that that happens, and it's only human nature to want to like even things out. Next question is from Night Owl 1216, and they say, what are you most proud of yourself for doing during filming of the show? It can't be easy mentally or emotionally, so I'm curious for a moment where you felt you stood your ground or were proud of the way you handled an experience. You know what? I honestly am really proud of the way I acted throughout the entirety of the show. I am kind of known as the one who didn't start any drama, wasn't involved in any drama, and that's how it was like really in person during filming. And I take a lot of pride in that because they really do a lot to try to mess with your mental health and like break you a bit. So I am pretty happy that I was able to keep it together. One moment though that I was extra proud of myself was this. Now, I tell you guys all the time that I wasn't really pressured in the interviews like the other girls were, but that's not to say that I was never pressured. During filming, there were definitely a few times that they tried to get some juice out of me. I can't remember what the exact situation was, unfortunately, but I remember the room I'm sitting in, I remember the producer I'm looking at, and she was just like hounding me on this one question, trying to get it out of me. It was something about like, a girl had said something to me and she was trying to get me to say like, yeah, that girl sucks, like she's so mean, I hate her. And I just stood my ground and I was like, I'm not gonna talk on that subject. And she was like, well, didn't that really bother you? And I was like, I'm not gonna talk about my feelings on that subject. And I was really proud of myself. She must have asked me like 10 times about this situation, and she asked me a lot of different ways, and they are professionals at saying things in different ways to try to get you to react. And I stood my ground, and I'm so grateful that I did, because you'll never see me talking crap about a girl on that show. So I'm very proud of myself for doing that and maintaining that throughout the whole show. I'm also just proud of myself for making it through freaking casting. I was ready to quit. Actually, this is another story. Ugh, hope this isn't gonna be another long video, but I met this girl, I think her name was Anna. If you're out there, Anna, I don't think it was Anna, I don't know. If you're out there, say hello in the comments. But anyways, I got close to her during the casting process because she was a little bit more reserved too, and she wasn't like going out of her way to make a scene for reality television, so we kind of connected on that. She never made it into the top 30 or whatever it was. So, you know, you guys never got to see her, but she was really cool. And we were both talking about how we were gonna quit because, like I said, they locked us up in those hotel rooms. They restricted our human interaction to basically nothing other than when we were delivered food or getting like our blood test. But it was just torturous. The whole casting process was torturous. And I cried and I was talking to myself. I was going absolutely mental. And the producers were telling me, if you don't start participating in conversation, we're not going to put you through to the next round. And I was like, seriously? Like, I did not know which way to turn. And her and I agreed that we were literally going to quit if we made it into the top 30, which is so bad. And I'm so glad I didn't do that. But anyways, that is another thing that I'm really proud of, is just for sticking with it, because a lot of girls actually decided willingly to drop out during the casting process because it is freaking brutal. So I'm proud of myself and all the other girls for even making it through that. Okay, that was a really long explanation, so let's move on. Next question is by Clicked Up, and they say, any behind the scenes drama you haven't told, or how did they treat you guys? Okay, honestly, like, most drama was showed on television, and if it wasn't, then I have a pretty bad memory and I can't even remember it. So I'm just gonna tell you guys a couple of like random things that I remember behind the scenes that maybe caused a little bit of friction. Okay, so first thing is that when the producers brought out Crafty, now Crafty is craft services, which is just food for the cast. And these girls, sorry if you're watching this, any of my lovely ladies from my season, but the girls were just animalistic. I mean, they would set down the food and they would just pounce and try to get their favorite thing first. And I would just sit back, and I'm very unpicky when it comes to food. I don't have any allergies. I don't have any preferences. I eat anything. I thought it was a luxurious experience, the Crafty, and the other girls were like, this is such crap food. But anyway, so they would jump on it, reach for the food, and I was just like, oh my God. And eventually I brought it up, and I think I just said something like, guys, we're all gonna get something to eat. If you end up with something that you don't like, I'm sure they can find something for you. Like, I was raised to be very polite and, you know, serve others before yourself. And I just talked to the girls like, guys, do we have to all pounce on this at the same time? Can we just take it easy, take our turns, and everyone will be fed, don't worry. And I can't remember exactly their response, but I think it was Tatiana who was just like, I have to get what I want and I'm gonna just get it, and I'm gonna go grab that food because I need it. And I was like, okay. And I think we just agreed that not everyone was raised the same, and that's just what they're gonna continue doing. So they continued jumping at the food and I continued sitting back, and that was that. Not really drama, but just something that I actually brought up as an issue. Oh my gosh, another little behind the scenes drama. Now I have this literally all written out in my journal from the show, so I look back at it sometimes, but oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about this. So I was talking with, I'll name drop, why not, Cody. And I was at the time, I still am, but I was very into science and just logic and all of that stuff. And Cody was trying to convince me that plants have feelings, and you can talk to your plants and communicate with them and they'll grow better, which I've heard that before. Who knows if it's true? But she was basically saying that plants are like animals and they have actual feelings. And I said, well, they don't have a brain, so they're incapable of feeling. And she said that they can like feel when you cut them and stuff like that. And anyways, that was a bit of an argument, and she called me stupid and said that I need to do my research. And anyways, that was just a really bizarre situation, and I didn't really know what else to do or where to turn, so I just wrote it all in my journal, and I still laugh about it today. Sorry if you believe that. Everyone is entitled to their own beliefs and opinions, so do your thing. I, for one, don't believe that, and she just like attacked me hardcore for not thinking the same way as her. So that was a funny situation. Okay, last piece of drama. Sorry to keep going on this, but this was more on the producer's end. One of the buses that they took us in, the air conditioning wasn't working, and it was like 110 degrees in New York City summer, maybe 100 degrees. And there were like 8 of us on this bus all crammed together. It was like a party bus. So there was probably more like 12 of us. And we were all crammed together, thighs rubbing against each other, dripping in sweat. And it was the episode before the Philip Plein casting. And that's why I have my hair in that ugly, messy bun because I had it down like this, but it ended up looking disgusting because I was drenched in sweat. I cannot believe they didn't show that on TV. Oh my god, it was miserable. Like, almost dangerous how hot it was in there. So anyways, there's 3 little behind the scenes things that happened that you guys didn't get to see. All right, next question is from, I don't know, FFRHZHRN. And they say, I always wonder if all the fights are real and not scripted. So I have a whole other video on this. If you want to watch, I'll link it here. But yes, all the drama actually happened. The things that were said were actually said. They never forced us to say anything. But I will say these 2 things. One, the producers do pry for responses, like I was talking about earlier. They really push you and try to get that emotion out of you. And also, number 2, we were so restricted. Obviously, like, didn't talk to our family, no cell phones, no TV, no music, no books, so we were going mental anyway. Breakdowns are so easy to happen when you are under those circumstances. So I wouldn't judge or blame any of the girls for their behavior while on reality television. It can be very difficult to survive those types of situations. And anyways, yes, so the fights are real, but just understand that the circumstances are pretty rough. All right, Bavo Sablon says, if Tyra did an All-Stars, all-winners season, would you accept the invitation? Absolutely. That is like my dream, that she decides to bring back a winners all-star season. I would die. I mean, I would love to participate and see all these girls that I've looked up to for years and years and years and watched on TV. And I'm not gonna lie, I like a bit of competition, especially in something that I am good at, and that is my career, like modeling. So I would love to compete in another modeling competition. Reggie Goo 31 says, what are they like, the judges, in person? Are they the same both on TV and in person? So, yes and no. Mostly no. I think they definitely all put on a persona for TV, but don't we all? Like, I mean, YouTube, I'm very candid and stuff like that, but if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, like, I definitely turn up the energy on those platforms because I know that people are viewing it. And I think same for the judges. They know that they're being filmed for a TV show, and so they put on a bit of a show. For example, Drew, he's my favorite judge, but I think he like tried to play the bad cop or whatever, like the mean judge in a couple of situations and towards a couple of girls. And that's just so not him. Like, if you guys met Drew outside of America's Next Top Model, he is quite quiet, reserved. He's very serious, he's work-oriented, and he is just honestly awesome. I love Drew. He's such a realist, he's honest, he's very New York. I'm clearly a big fan, but on TV he comes across like a bit harsh, and that's just so not how he is. All right, Ricola Ricola says, how did you celebrate when you won? So in my last Q&A, I talked about what it was like when we were filming, and then I talked about what it was like when it was announced on TV, and now I'm going to tell you how I treated myself after I received my money. First of all, that was a very special moment. Like, I have never seen a check with $100,000 written on it. I was like, what in the world? Like, it was really just a special feeling. And the first thing I did after I deposited the check, I went to the mall in New York City and I bought myself a pair of knee-high suede heeled Stuart Weitzman boots, a classic. I had had my eyes on those for so long, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around spending $1,000 on a pair of boots. But after I won, I was like, let me just treat myself to one thing, okay? And so I got the boots and it was amazing. Unfortunately, I have lost them. I don't know where they are. I lost them in a move or left them at a friend's house. I'm not really sure, but they are not in my presence anymore, which is really sad to me, but that's okay. Bless the heart of whoever has come across my boots. If it's you, please give them back to me. I'm just joking, but anyways. All right, so luckily this video isn't gonna be too long. I have like 2 more questions that I had screenshotted from you guys, so we're gonna get through those last 2, and then that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and participating and asking me these awesome questions. I so appreciate it. All right, so Angela Bird says, were you guys pressured into eating healthy or not eating to maintain your body throughout the show? What kind of food does the show provide you? So this is great because we already already talked about crafty, and you know what? Like, I was raised with a pretty simple diet. I am not picky at all. I have very good metabolism, and so eating doesn't like super crazy affect my body, so I'm really grateful for that. But the other girls really struggled with that because the food they gave us was not very healthy. See, I considered it healthy at the time, like totally. It was like, yeah, fish and chicken and rice and bread and I don't know, all good stuff in my eyes. And the other girls, I think, just like cook a lot for themselves and have very high standards for food, so they hated it. We also didn't get to choose, so whatever it was for that day, that's what it was. Some of the girls had like certain restrictions or certain requests that I think the producers did listen to, but I didn't have any of those, so I just ate whatever they brought. And even if you're not in the mood for it, it's just like, here's your dinner and you eat it. Another thing about food though, we were given a stipend every week. I can't remember what it was. It might have been like $100 a week or $50 a week or something like that, that we could spend on groceries. So we would write our name and what we wanted and put the cash in an envelope and give it to one of the PAs to go buy for us. So some of the girls would just do their groceries and like not really eat the crafty that was on set because according to them, it wasn't very good. I thought it was delicious, but anyways. And yeah, as far as maintaining physique, like back then I was 19 or maybe I just turned 20 or something. So maintaining my body just like wasn't an issue. I didn't work out. I always said I never wanted a gym membership. I just wanted to stay active and play a lot of sports, and that's just how I wanted to stay fit for the rest of my life. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm 24, I do work out and I do have to work to maintain my body. So I imagine some of the other girls who were up to 27 years old were very frustrated that we didn't even have a gym at our brownstone in New York. I don't know if you guys even knew that. We had zero way to work out. No weights, no like bands, no bicycle, what are those called? Not a treadmill, but you know, a cycling thing. Wow, I'm having a mind fart. But anyways, we didn't have any workout equipment. So I can't believe they didn't put this on TV, but I used to lead Zumba for a few of us girls out in the backyard, and we would like do dances outside and just try to get a workout in. Or sometimes we would go up to the little secret makeup room and just like do sit-ups and stuff just to be active. Like honestly, you start to go crazy if you don't have any like physical activity. So even just for your sanity, it's good to work out. But we didn't have any workout equipment, and a lot of the girls found it super frustrating that they couldn't do their workouts. I know that now if I was to enter the show and they didn't have a gym, I would be like, are you kidding me? This is a modeling show. How do you expect us to maintain our model bodies without any way to move or be active? And as you guys probably know, you're not allowed to leave the house, so you can't like go for a run or something. Oh, so luckily I wasn't like a workout fanatic back then, but now if I were to do it, I would be like, guys, you have to get a treadmill. Like we have to have some way to work out. And we were definitely the only season that didn't have a gym. Like even 24, the season right after us, I know that they had a gym. So it was just like annoying, but whatever. So that's our food and workout situation during the show. Okay, I lied. I actually only had the one last question screenshotted, so that wraps up our video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again for submitting your questions. I so appreciate it, and love you guys. I will see you on Tuesday for another video. Bye!